Welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Jazz, the founder of Bollywood Studios, and today we're going to give you a little bit of a hot tip on framing. So we're going to talk about framing. Now, what do we mean by framing? Oftentimes, our arms are the ones that actually frame our upper body or our entire body because they are similar to our legs as well. It's not to say that legs don't frame you, but oftentimes whenever we're talking about dance and really putting something together nicely in terms of the way that it looks, we talk about the position of your arms. So oftentimes I feel, or I've seen rather, that there is a tendency to tuck your elbows in to your body. And this often happens when maybe you may not be as comfortable or you may be new to a particular kind of dance. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. Every body is different. We are just learning how to explore and understand it and open it up if we want to, if this choreography or the movement needs for it to be, right? So in saying that, this particular move or this particular concept, I would say, probably comes a little bit more from my classical training, whereby we talk about postures, we talk a lot about angles, and we talk a lot about how to make something look beautiful. So in saying that, whenever I see a student that has elbows tucked in, which sometimes is the case, sometimes the move requires for your elbows to be tucked in, but one of the greatest ways to be able to have and hold a really big, broad presence on stage is to often use your elbows and have them tuck themselves out and showcase them. So the way of thinking about this is your elbows can either be pointing to the back of the room, which is, again, like I said, depending on the move, can make you look smaller, as you can see in my frame right now. But the moment I bring my elbow towards the side of the room, so I could even go here, and that is pointing to the diagonal back of the room, which is fine as well. It depends on where your body feels comfortable. But ideally, not always, but ideally for certain moves, especially if we're talking about framing on stage and presence on stage, that oftentimes comes with this kind of movement, right? So in contemporary dance as well, there's a lot of this. There's a lot of holding your position like this, and that is called a frame, right? So basically, while you're on stage and if you're looking to take up more room, especially if you're a solo artist, if you are doing a solo presentation on stage and you feel very, very small, our body, oftentimes when we're nervous, we kind of go inwards into our body. So we may learn and practice the moves nice and big. However, when we are on stage, we often feel like everyone's watching us, and if you're not used to that, it's very, very normal for your body's nervous system to kind of go inwards, which then means everything shrinks. So when we are practicing dance, and especially if you are looking at not only a solo performance, but depending on what the choreography needs and what the step really needs, but especially if you're doing work that is just you, whereby you can add your own flavor and you can add length or largeness or being bigger on stage, a lot of the times these motions come from your limbs, comes from really understanding to be bigger means to use your elbows to open up, essentially. Okay, so that's a bit of a tip for you to kind of look at different ways that you can do that, and really just practicing, if you'd like to kind of think of it as an activity, or always practice in front of a mirror so you can actually see what it looks like, because it may look and feel awkward to you, but it also takes time for your eyes to get used to your body moving in a particular way. So watching yourself in a mirror, or watching yourself in videos as well. So take a video of yourself and watch to see what does that look like. Why does it look so awkward? Why is it not coming out that way? And most importantly, give yourself grace. Give yourself time as you are exploring your body, exploring what you can do with your arms, with your elbows, to be able to gain the space. There is so much space around me right now, and I could stand like this and keep everything in, but I could also take up space and really, really move to be able to encapsulate my audience just by showcasing my elbows. Who would have thought? Elbows, right? So I'll see you in the next one.